A note on Rescue Dawn. If we are complaining about the pandemic, the isolation, lockdowns, we better stop. After watching this movie of incredible courage, resilience, grit. By the way, we can see the accuracy, the fact that the positive psychology experiments that proved grit, resilience to be more important than other skills, talents, IQ. In fact, there's a marshmallow test, not going into it now because I'm supposed to talk about a film, but that's the way I do it. Um, it's much more important because we see this hero, this role model, this Superman, played by Christian Bale, a phenomenal actor. I was thinking about The Fighter, the film for which he has won uh, the, the Oscar for Best Actor in a Supporting Role, for which he lost, who knows, 30 kilos. This is another case where his talent, his grit of the actor, not just the character he portrays, Dieter, the pilot crashing behind enemy lines, so to say, in Southeast Asia. Um, in fact, I'm not even sure where. Was it in Laos? He doesn't know. I know he's debriefed because his mission was secret and he has some CIA guys or NSA or whatever. And they asked details, the uniforms, what they used. They had a star, but he's not sure where about coordinates and where he was kept imprisoned, so to say. And so it's not just a question of the grit, resilience, the immense psychological strength or determination, the wonderful character of this man in based on a real life pilot, but also the actor. The actor has to eat live worms. It's not that they're not using digital special effects there. I think he's also eating from that snake towards the end, and it's phenomenal. He is skinny. He's no has no fat left in his body for this role. And it's Werner Herzog, by the way, the filmmaker behind classics like Fitzcarraldo and Aguirre, The Wrath of God. He's the director of this phenomenal movie, wherein we have early on the crashing plane. The protagonist is managing to evade, to escape for a while, but then he's caught, and together with others, by the way, Steve Zahn, an actor known by this viewer at least for his comedy roles. He is phenomenal here. Also very skinny. They're prisoners and they have to eat this much rice. And at one point, even from that large portion of rice, by the way, we have to get used with this because who knows what happens. They say a second wave will come, coupled with a flu, maybe it mutates. So we have to start thinking of rice here and eating large quantities like this. From this rice, he's using his shit can. He has like a tube this big, and in this part is the feces, and then at the bottom he's hiding rice to use for the escape, because from the beginning he's sure he has to escape. And that reminds me of Viktor Frankl, will for meaning. Matt's search for meaning. The psychologist, the professor, one of the best ever, and he has been a prisoner in the Nazi death camps. Prisoner, even if he was given the option to be out, but because his family was not exempt, he said, "No, I will go in." And he's telling the story from a psychology perspective, and it seems that what keeps someone alive under those terrible circumstances in prison and with awful guards like the Nazis, all these crazies in South Asia, Laotian or whatever they were, and is a drive, a will to survive. That's a will to power, no, the will to power, but it's also the will to live. When in the Nazi camps, prisoners were not interested in their cigarettes, for instance, anymore. It was a sign that they would die, because cigarettes were the currency. It didn't matter you were a smoker or not, but they exchanged various things, vital things for cigarettes. They had no currency. So when that lack of interest in vivra fonden was lacking, so I'm not saying what happens. It's just that the ride is I can't say a joyride. The film is more than worthwhile. It's extraordinary, one of the best you can find, by the way. And it's not pleasant to see those people suffering. Leeches, you name it, they have it. But it's spectacular. One moment that comes to mind, I can't separate from this, it's getting too long, but from this film, and I'll end with this. He finds the soul of a shoe. Who knows, maybe 20 years old. It's a rubber or something old, discarded, just a soul, not a shoe. And it's bliss. And there he's offering to his friend, Steve Zahn character, to cover a little, because they have no shoes and their feet are in a terrible condition. Glorious film.